The grand amphitheater of the Galactic Council was a marvel of interstellar engineering. Its shimmering walls were forged from crystalline alloys harvested from dying stars, and its ceiling projected an ever-shifting panorama of nebulae, galaxies, and supernovae, a symbolic reminder of the vast cosmos that bound all sentient species together. But today, the chamber buzzed not with hope or unity, but with tension so thick it could choke even the most stoic diplomat. At the center of this storm stood Ambassador Kale Veyron, humanity's representative to the Council. His sharp features and piercing blue eyes betrayed no emotion as he addressed the assembly. Behind him, holographic banners displayed Earth's emblem, a golden globe encircled by orbiting rings, signifying humanity's rise from a single planet to a galactic power. Yet, despite his confident demeanor, whispers filled the room like static interference. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," Kale began, his voice steady, yet carrying an undertone of finality. "After centuries of collaboration, humanity has reached a crossroads. We have deliberated long and hard on our role within this institution, and we have come to a decision." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Representatives shifted uneasily in their seats, some leaning forward in anticipation, others exchanging wary glances. The towering insectoid Zorathians clicked their mandibles nervously, while the aquatic Luminaris delegates flicked their bioluminescent fins in agitation. Even the stoic Zitherans, whose crystalline bodies refracted light into dazzling patterns, seemed unsettled. Kale paused, letting the weight of his words sink in before continuing. "Effective immediately, humanity will withdraw from active participation in the Galactic Council. This is not a decision made lightly, nor out of malice. Rather, it reflects our belief that diplomacy has failed to address the existential threats facing the galaxy." Gasps erupted across the chamber. A few delegates rose to their feet, shouting questions in their native tongues. The Council's AI, moderator, a floating sphere of pulsating energy known as Eris, attempted to restore order, emitting calming tones that did little to quell the chaos. "Silence," bellowed Chancellor Tavok, the Council's current leader and a member of the reptilian Draconis race. His deep, gravelly voice cut through the din like a blade. "Ambassador Veyron, you cannot simply abandon your responsibilities. The Council relies on humanity's contributions to maintain balance among the stars." Kale met Tavok's gaze without flinching. "Chancellor, humanity has done more than its share to uphold that balance. For decades, we've provided resources, technology, and manpower to mediate conflicts and combat threats. And yet, what do we see? Endless wars over territory, exploitation of weaker species, and the unchecked spread of cosmic anomalies that endanger us all. The Council talks endlessly but accomplishes nothing." Tavok's slit-pupiled eyes narrowed. "Your accusations are unfounded. Progress takes time, Ambassador. Patience is required if we are to achieve true harmony." "Patience," Kale retorted, his tone sharpening. "How much longer must we wait? How many civilizations must fall victim to infighting or external threats before action is taken? Humanity refuses to be complicit in this cycle of stagnation any longer." Before Tavok could respond, another delegate interjected. It was Mira Solon, the soft-spoken ambassador of the Elysian Collective, a coalition of pacifist species. Her translucent skin glowed faintly under the chamber's artificial light, a trait unique to her kind. "Ambassador Veyron, I understand your frustration, but withdrawing entirely will only exacerbate the situation. Without humanity's influence, the Council risks fracturing further." Kyle turned to face her, his expression softening slightly. "Mira, you know better than anyone how often humanity has tried to bridge divides and foster cooperation. But our efforts have been met with resistance at every turn. Perhaps stepping back will force others to confront these issues head-on." The chamber descended into renewed chaos. Some delegates shouted protests, while others muttered dark predictions about humanity's isolationist stance. Amid the cacophony, one figure remained eerily silent: Lord Kryn, the enigmatic representative of the Shadow Accord, a secretive faction rumored to manipulate events behind the scenes. His hooded robes concealed his face, leaving only glowing red eyes visible. He leaned back in his seat, observing the unfolding drama with detached amusement. As the debate raged on, Kale stepped down from the podium and returned to his seat. He exchanged a brief glance with his aide, Commander Elena Ruiz, who stood nearby. She gave him a subtle nod, signaling approval for his performance. Though she shared his frustrations, Elena couldn't help feeling uneasy about the repercussions of humanity's withdrawal. Meanwhile, outside the council chamber, aboard the human flagship Eclipse, Captain Darius Kane paced anxiously. The burly officer had spent years commanding Earth's fleet in defense of allied worlds, earning both respect and fear among the galaxy's powers. But now, as orders came down from high command to disengage from council operations, he found himself questioning the wisdom of such a drastic move. "Captain," called Lieutenant Ava Chen, his second-in-command. She approached him with a datapad in hand. "We've received confirmation from Earth Command. All diplomatic missions are to cease immediately. Fleet deployments will shift focus to securing key territories near Sol." Darius frowned, running, a hand through his graying hair. "Securing territories? Against whom? The Council isn't our enemy. Not yet, anyway." Ava hesitated before responding. "Orders are orders, sir. If humanity's pulling out, we need to ensure we're prepared for whatever comes next." Darius sighed heavily. "Prepared for what? Isolation? War? Damn politicians always leave us holding the bag." His comm device buzzed, interrupting his rant. It was a secure transmission from Earth Command. Activating the holo screen, Darius saw the face of General Marcus Hale, the man overseeing humanity's military strategy. Hale's stern expression offered no comfort. "Captain Kane," Hale began without preamble, "I trust you understand the gravity of our situation. Humanity's withdrawal from the Council sends a clear message. We stand alone. Expect retaliation from factions who feel abandoned. Your priority is to fortify our borders and neutralize any threats. Understood?" "Yes, General," Darius replied, though his tone carried a hint of reluctance. "But may I ask, what happens if the Council collapses? Who steps in to keep the peace?" Hale's lips tightened into a thin line. "That's a question for another day. For now, focus on protecting our people. Humanity's future depends on it." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving Darius staring at the blank screen. He turned to Ava, who wore a similarly troubled expression. "Looks like we're going dark, Lieutenant. Rally the fleet. We've got work to do." Back inside the council chamber, the session dragged on, growing increasingly heated. Chancellor Tavok struggled to regain control, but dissent spread like wildfire. Several minor factions announced plans to reconsider their alliances, citing humanity's departure as a destabilizing factor. Others accused humans of selfishness, claiming they prioritized self-interest over collective survival. Through it all, Lord Kryn remained silent, his crimson eyes gleaming with calculated intent. When the session finally adjourned, he lingered behind, watching as delegates filed out in disarray. As the last of them disappeared, he activated a private channel on his wrist-mounted device. "The pieces are falling into place," he murmured, his voice low and rasping. "Humanity's arrogance will pave the way for a new order. Proceed as planned." Far away, in the shadowy depths of uncharted space, a fleet of unknown origin stirred to life. Their destination, the heart of the fractured Galactic Council. To be continued.